So it's Boxing Day,
Yeah.
and we are installing these two new strings from 60X. We've got the Nitrum Turbo done. Oh, the camera light turns on automatically. We've just discovered something. So these are them, nice bluey green and black to make it look very sexy with the green colour kit, of course. And we just want to give you a really quick run over what we do. So what we do, first and foremost, is we take the strings out of the packet, and as we discovered today, make sure you measure your strings, because we ordered a couple of different strings today, and a couple of them seemed to got mixed up just in packaging. So we did that. We've made sure they're all right, and made sure that they're the right length. And you know that because you've got the numbers here, so they tell you if they're the right length or not. And we found that this string here, the 59 cable, was actually in the packet with the 55 cable, so we had to switch them around. Not a normal occurrence, but just in case you want to do that. Then what you do is you take one string off at a time. So we put it in a press, and we always take the main cable off first. So you take the loop off this end, and with your new string, you're going to make sure that you keep the loops together and untwisted. So you want to make sure that they stay together and not twist at all when you're putting them in. So we put the main loop on, we follow that around, and we go all the way up the other end to this one, and we do the same thing up this end. Now the complicated ones are actually the control on the bus cables, because if you like, obviously we're going to need to do a bit of yoke tuning with these just to make sure that they're perfect and whatnot. So this one isn't a big deal, but this cable here was the complicated one. If we flip the boat over, if you look at this is the cable. It goes up here, behind the limb, up around that loop, and then down to where it connects in here. And that's really important to remember, that you take photos, because it's very easy to get distracted if something goes wrong or a phone rings or whatever. So take photos, and then you'll be able to get the string off. The next thing we do is we put a D-loop on. And we've got the peep in, where they come with a bit of string marking where the peep should go for minimal rotation, but we'll get to that later of how to fix that. But we put a D-loop on it, and we check for cam timing, so we make sure the cams are right, and then we make sure that the yoke tuning's done. So once you get the yoke tuning and the D-loop sorted, we will then work on the peep. Alright, stay tuned for more. Excellent. So we just got the string on, we've put the D-loop on, we've got the peep in, we've drawn the bow a couple of times to see where it goes, and we've noticed the top cam is about half an inch out on cam timing, so we're twisting one of the control cables to get it to go. Now we did 2 twists one way, and we did it the wrong way, so it threw it out even more. So we're going to do it the other way, so we're going to do 4 twists that way, so that'll put it back to its original, and then take 2 twists out of the string to make it longer. So this is the one, watch this, and you may remember to count your twists just in case you make a mistake like we did. So 1 twist, 2 twists, that's back to where it was from factory. 3 twists, 4 twists. Now I'm actually looking at that and how much it did to the last one. I'm going to put another twist in it, so we've got 3 twists back. And beyond that, if we find that the cam's still out, we'll twist the other cable, because I don't want to go too far on any one string, because that can just have even worse consequences. Right, so that's that. We're going to draw the bow and just see how it goes. That's it. So we're about to draw this bow again. Now what we're looking for is this limb stop to hit this cable here at the same time that this limb stop hits this cable here. That's all we're looking for. Hopefully we'll be a bit closer this time. Oh yeah, much closer. Okay, so we were half an inch out, now we're only about, well, a bee's dick, and this one's in, and you can see how this one's actually bowed that cable a little bit. It means that all the pressure's coming on this cam, and you'll get really weird arrow flight. So we'll go in and we'll put one more twist in it, and we should be right. Okay, so after a bit more mucking around, we've put a couple of extra twists in the yoke cable, and we've taken a few out in the bus cable just to make sure that, or control cable, sorry, to make sure that it lines up. And so this is the inaugural run. Hopefully this gets close. Alright, good. So now you can see we've got contact on the string. There's no light coming in between it. And it's probably a little bit out. And we've still got a bit of a bend in that one. So what we're going to do is probably add one more twist to it just to make it nice and even. Alright. So what we're doing now is getting this peep into the right level for Anthony's eye. So we're getting him to draw the boat with his eyes closed, anchor in, and then we look at where the peep is in relation to his eyeball, if he can see whether, like, it should be right in front of him.
Yeah, that's pretty well in front.
Cool. So that's in front of his anchor point. Now what we're going to do is get this twisted so it's actually, yeah, you can see through it. That's going to be the fun part. Okay, so cams are tying. We've got both of them syncing very, very nicely. They're not putting too much pressure on these cables, and they're touching at the same time. We've got the D-loop on. We'll have to do obviously a little bit of tuning for that to make sure it's good, so we'll go through some paper tuning and whatnot later on. The peep is quite easily in. We don't tie up here and down here just because that puts added pressure on it and then rotates it again. We don't want that, so we just tie it in around the peep itself. So when Anthony draws through, this is nice lined up with his eye. What we did, we just took the string off and we put half a twist in it, and it rotated it into the right position, so now we don't have to touch it. We just set up his quad HDX rest as well, so that's all nice and tensioned down, so it's pulling nice and smooth, and we'll give you a bit of a show. So brand new strings, all new cables. Took us a couple of hours, unfortunately. Bit of mucking around with a couple of things, but we got there. So, see, cable's touching, limb stops touching. We've got the HDX rest up. We'll bring it around the other side. HDS, that's all up nice and level and straight, how it's meant to be, which is coming down on the down cable here. And the peep is facing his eye, which is good. So that's it in a nutshell. All you got to spend a lot of time mucking around to get this right, but that's all right. All good. Happy?
Happy.
Happy.
See ya.
So we're chronographing both bows. Both have got brand new BYC strings from 60X. We've tuned them in so they're shooting straight and whatnot. So we've done the yoke tuning. We've got our rest pretty much down. We've got to do a little bit more French tuning and stuff to make sure they're perfect. We just wanted to see how fast they were, and what we've got surprising results. So mine was 287 feet a second, wound all the way in, so it's 70 pound. Anthony's bow was 304 at 65 pound, which is all the way in for his Nitrum. I've just shot a 280 maxed out at a 28 inch draw. Anthony shot a 281 at a 29 inch draw, which is very surprising because he was shooting 304, so it's a 23 feet a second drop, and mine's a 7 feet a second drop. So we're putting it down to not having any of those speed beads up here. So we're going to get a couple of them and put them on in the near future and just see if that changes anything, if it gets back to it. So we're going to do one now. We'll just show you. So Anthony's old reading's still on there, which is a 281. We'll see what I can get. Yeah, and it likes to muck around a little bit. Bear with us. We shall reset. So we're going to try that again because that one, this Pro Chrono is a bit pedantically temperamental, shall we say. It works, but only sometimes because we go get the right light conditions. Apparently we didn't have them. There you go, 285 feet a second. So I've shot a 280 and a 285 on 70 pound. That's all the way up. It's still 2 feet a second slower than what it was shooting before with the speed beads. So for my bow at least, I'm very, very interested to see what's going to happen when I put the speed beads back on, because if I'm shooting 2 feet a second slower without them, theoretically putting them on should see that jump up a little bit further. And we've got to work on Anthony's bow, obviously. get that back up to over 300 feet a second, because we like being in that club.